What's up everybody, Jacob Blank back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I did this $10,000 wholesale deal. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I did this wholesale deal in Richmond, Virginia, and I spent zero marketing dollars there, and I was able to make a $10,000 wholesale deal, so stick around to the end of the video. Also, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you go down below, hit the red button, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives, so I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe. Other than that, let's get right into the video. Alright, so that's right, I did a $10,000 wholesale deal in Richmond, Virginia, and I spent zero marketing dollars there. The only places I spend marketing dollars is Arizona, Texas, Florida, California, and Georgia, right? I'm in a lot of markets now, but Richmond, Virginia is not one of them. And I was still able to do this deal there. Let me tell you exactly how I was able to do this. So I have my 30 cold callers, right? And I am cold calling, those markets I just mentioned, those 5 markets I just mentioned, right? And if somebody says they're not interested in selling that property or they don't have a property for sale, my cold callers always ask, do you own a property in any other state? We buy across the country as long as the numbers make sense. And sometimes, 1 out of 100 times, 1 out of 50 times, the homeowner on the other end of the line goes, yes, I have a property that I'd like to sell in Colorado. I have a property I'd like to sell in, Chicago, you name it. Sometimes it happens. And when that happens, our cold caller collects all the information that they need and passes the lead through to us, and we call it. Now, we will buy anywhere as long as the numbers make sense. I will even flip a property anywhere across the country. I will buy it myself. I won't even wholesale the deal. I'll actually buy it, take it down myself if the numbers really do make sense in a different state. And that's what you guys got to keep in mind. In real estate, it all comes down to the numbers. If the numbers don't make sense, nobody's going to make any money. So it all comes down to the numbers, right? We collected our information about the condition of the property. We were talking to the seller, and this property was a duplex. And the duplex, one half of the duplex was fully remodeled and one half was completely gutted down to the studs. So it still needed a lot of work to get both sides up and running. So then once we had a good understanding of the condition of the property, we then got into negotiating with the seller. The seller originally wanted $140,000 for the property, and that was just too much. So we got into negotiating. We pointed out that it needed roof repair. One half was gutted down to the studs. It was going to need everything: electrical, plumbing, flooring, drywall, kitchen, bathrooms, paint. You name it, it needed everything. So we negotiated. We used our firepower of knowing the condition, knowing how much work it needed to our advantage in order to get the price down. And that's exactly what we did. We got him from 140 down to 110. Then we told him we're going to have our finance manager call you back. Finance manager being me got on the phone with him and got him down to $90,000 for the property. So boom, we got him down to $90,000. We signed the purchase contract. We got his autograph at the bottom, and now we had this purchase contract signed for $90,000 in a state we do not do marketing in. We've never sold a deal in. We've never done a deal in. So now it was time to figure out how the heck we were going to sell this deal and get it to the finish line and get paid. So now it was time to get pictures and sell the deal. So I reached out to a few people and I used WeGoLook or Craigslist, and I found a guy that would go out to the property for $50 and take pictures of the whole property. And so that's what I did. I got that guy to go out, take pictures of every room, the electrical box, the hot water heater, the roof, the AC. The guy took pictures of everything and he emailed me them. Now, once I had the pictures, I knew I could market the property and try to sell it. I just needed to figure out how I was going to get this property in front of the eyes of buyers that were in Richmond, Virginia. That's who I needed it to get to, right? I was used to selling deals in Arizona. I have my buyers list, but in Virginia, I had nothing, so I had to start from scratch. So I reached out to a few buddies first, asking them if they knew anyone in Virginia that buys deals. There was one guy that somebody knew, and he took a look. He told me he didn't want the deal. It needed too much work for him, so I was still at ground zero, right? I needed to find a buyer. So the next thing that I did is I put the deal all over Craigslist and all over Facebook. I put it in every single Virginia real estate group possible on Facebook, and only a few people reached out. I had a few people reach out, and I had those buyers go walk the property. Now, 2 came back with their offer around $70,000, and one came back with their offer at $100,000. So two people completely lowballed me. I could not get them up to a higher price. And then one guy gave me a $100,000 offer, and he wouldn't budge either. I kept trying to push him up, negotiate, try to get him at 105, 110, try to make a $15,000, $20,000 assignment fee, but he would not budge either. So then I shopped the deal around a little bit more on Facebook, kind of looking for more buyers, but I really wasn't getting a lot of hits. So I had to go with the guy at $100,000. He was a really honest guy. He was, this was going to be his fourth flip, and he was actually going to live in half and rent the other, and he really wanted the deal. So I got to know the buyer a little bit. I vetted him. I got proof of funds from him. I got 3 past addresses that he flipped so I could look up and make sure he actually was on the deed history, and he was. I vetted the buyer to make sure he was legit, and then I signed the assignment contract with him. Now, Virginia is kind of an attorney state, and it's kind of also a title company and escrow state, so it was a little iffy. He wanted to use an attorney, and I wanted to use a title company. So we wound up using both. There was some butting of heads, and he was a little concerned about the paperwork, the buyer was, but I let him know, we do 10 deals a month, and we know what we're doing. The paperwork's all good. We're not trying to screw you in any way, shape, or form, and I hope you're not trying to screw me in any way, shape, or form. And we got on the same page, and we finally decided to just go through a title company rather than using an attorney to get the deal done, because the attorney was actually giving us more pushback about doing an assignment than the title company was. So that's what we did. We sent the assignment contract to title, sent the purchase agreement to title, sent everything title needed in order to get the transaction moving forward so we could get to the close. And the close came pretty quick. I only had 14 days to sell the deal after I contracted it. So I had barely any time to sell this, so I was a little bit concerned, but he performed like he said he would. The buyer performed and got the deal closed on the 14th day. Now, this was super amazing to be able to get a $10,000 deal in a state that I spend 0 marketing dollars in, which is super rare and super amazing. This is the 3rd time this has happened. I did a deal in Colorado, I did a deal in Virginia, and I've done a deal in Oregon where I spend 0 marketing dollars and I've been able to do deals there. It's just crazy how, you never know what's going to happen just picking up the phone and calling millions of people, not even homeowners, just people, calling people and asking them if they have a property to sell. You never know what gem you're going to find, whether it's halfway across the country or right in your market. You just never know. And that's what I love about wholesaling real estate. It's always interesting, it's always different, and you always have to solve problems and figure things out, just like doing a deal in a state that I've never done a deal before in. It was a little concerning that I wasn't going to be able to sell the deal and was going to have to cancel with the seller, but at the end of the day, we push on, we persevere, and we figure out how to get the deal closed and get paid. Like I said in my last video, you never ever let the deal die. You do whatever possible to not let the deal die. You do whatever possible to make sure it goes through and gets to the finish line and you get paid. Sometimes you got to jump through hoops to make that happen, but it is worth it in the end because each deal matters, each piece of money, each check adds up and counts to your goal, your end goal to change your life with real estate. So make sure you don't let deals die. And to kind of add on to that, right, don't let deals die, it's funny, sometimes the smallest assignment fees come with the biggest headache. You have to jump through the most hoops. You have to jump through the most hoops to get the deal closed for only a few $1,000s, and sometimes the big deals, the $30,000, $40,000 deals seem so easy compared to the $2,000, $3,000 deals, and that's just the way it goes. But each deal matters, each seller matters, and our goal is to get the deal closed and get the seller paid and solve their problems. So for $3,000 I have to jump through hoops and it's stressful to get it closed, it's still worth it, and it's still worth my time and effort just as much as a $30,000 deal because I made that promise to the seller to get the deal closed. So remember that, don't do these sellers wrong. Make sure you do whatever you can to get these deals closed, whether it's in your market or a different state. But other than that, guys, I hope you liked this video of breaking down this $10,000 wholesale deal I did completely virtually in a different state that I've never marketed to, so super interesting. If you like this video, make sure you go down below, hit the like button. Also, if you're not already subscribed, go down below, hit the red button, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives, so I'd really appreciate it if you go subscribe. Other than that, thank you for watching. Peace.